Hey guys, it's Evie Rose, and today I wanted to do a video on circle casting and is it necessary? I know this video is done, it's been done 1,000,001 times, and I'm going to do it 1,000,002 times now. So I have kind of a take on it, so it's not all traditional. I'm wearing my Bombers hoodie because it's football season here in Australia, and I love my Essendon Bombers, and number 2 on the ladder. Whoop, whoop. Here comes the grand final. I feel it in me waters. Anyway, so yeah, and I'm sorry, but my hair has not been combed. It's been recently washed, so it's all fluffy. Anyway, circle casting. So I want to make a disclaimer that I am devoted to a tradition of Wicca known as CX Wicca. And CX Wicca is British traditional witchcraft based on Anglo-Saxon paganism. In no way is it exactly what the Anglo-Saxons practiced. However, the tradition is deeply rooted in British traditional witchcraft, as the founder and father, Robat, or as you know him, Raymond Buckland, was a dedicant of the Gardnerian tradition. So Gerald Gardner initiated Ray Buckland, and so CX Wicca is known as a sister tradition, very much in the way that Alexandrian Wicca is also a sister tradition. So that's my background. And when I started, when I was a dedicant, when I was a seeker, I was trained online, of course it wasn't in person, by a gentleman who is a Gardnerian, still is, strong, devout Gardnerian traditionalist, who gave me the choice of whether I wanted to cast circle. So he made it open, because I was not being initiated as a Gardnerian, but I was taught Gardnerian principles and practices by a Gardnerian in an unofficial way. He never, if anyone's wondering, he never told me the deities' names and all the practices. However, the principles and theories in Wicca was taught to me in a way that was Gardnerian and traditional, and I took them very seriously, and I still take them very seriously. First, I want to make a disclaimer saying of what casting a circle is. Casting a circle is not just a physical thing, it's also putting yourself in the mind space ready for ritual, rite, or spell casting. In other religions, you'd call this a circle of protection, or Christians call it a hedge of protection, to shield yourself from negative energies, entities, or to clear your space so you are ready and in a mindset of pseudo-psychosis that is between here, there, and anywhere. So you're in a space where a switch has gone off in your head saying, nope, I'm not worrying about the power bill, I'm not worrying about the phone bill, this is what I should be focused on, this money spell is what I should be focusing on. So you're putting yourself in the mindset of magical practice. How it's done, a lot of traditions and a lot of people do it different ways. There's no right or wrong way. And I know that's weird hearing that from me, because I do say that British traditional witchcraft should be done a certain way. But I do know that there are other pagan and other religions actually out there that practice that in a certain way. I'm not inept. I do know that as Wiccans, now this isn't casting a circle, because you can call on the corners whenever, for whatever purpose, but Wiccans, traditional Wiccans, traditional witches who practice British traditional witchcraft call on the the corners, and these are not the elements. These are watchtowers of the elements. It's not the elements. I know a lot of people say you call the elements. It's like, no, you call the elements separately, because the watchtowers of the north, south, east, west are not earth, air, fire, water. They are the guardians, protectors of those elements. So we call on the quarters, and then we go over the circle once, twice, thrice, and bind the circle. Bind our space. It can be a circle. It doesn't have to be a circle. It can be a square. It could be where you're sitting right there, right then, right now. And a lot of it is visualization. Some people will make a physical circle with salt. Some people will make a physical circle with candles. Others will use incense or resins to make a circle of smoke around them. And that's also, I've found, very sufficient when you're needing to get in that visualization space. Are they required? No, but it's tradition by tradition. My deities come to expect the circle. My deities expect me to perform perform a ritual in a way that is set in stone. So if I am dedicating myself to my goddess as a Seax, she will then come to expect certain things in certain ways. Why? Because that's how we align with the frequencies and the energies put out by others before us. So, you know, I don't know if you've ever done this, but if you've ever driven on the beach in a 4x4, someone who is new to driving on the beach, people will say, follow the tracks of other cars in the wet sand, because you can see up ahead and no one stopped. So just follow the tracks in the sand, and you'll get to where you need to go safely. Or a path that's been, you know, laid down with cement, sure, that's fine. But this dirt path that has obviously been cleared by people who've come before, you'll want to take, because you know somebody, somewhere, millions or thousands of people have walked this path. Therefore, you know you're going to get where you need to go safely. It's the same with practice. Your deities will come to expect you to do it a certain way. You must follow a certain path like the others before you. If that makes sense. Annie from Mirth and Reverence says it way better than me. Lunar Wisdom says it way better than me, and Thor Mooney says it way better than me. But the gods come to expect certain practices. If you have been living millions and millions of years, and only recent, as of 6,000 years, someone's been worshipping you, and they worship you with oils and incense and certain foods, you'll come to expect those certain foods, oils, and incense. You can't just say, here, have this fish. This goddess will be like, huh? Okay, thanks. You need to do things a certain way when you are in a tradition. However, if you're finding your path, if you are not a traditionalist witch, and you are, maybe you're casting a circle because you need to be in that headspace, or you want a circle of protection or a hedge of protection, maybe call on ancestors, loved ones, energies around you that are positive and filled with light. Bring them forth. I really only strongly recommend that people who are working with a certain tradition call on their gods if they know their gods are going to come. For instance, my goddess, Her favourite alcohol is mead. Where I live, it's very hard to get mead because Australia doesn't really produce mead in a way um, like English countries do, like other English speaking countries do. So the best I can get is a white wine. And if I talk to my goddess and say, I really tried to find you mead, I just could not find it, goddess, I'm sorry. A substitution, I'm not saying you can't substitute something, but it needs to be along the lines of what your gods expect. I'm prattling away here. So if you are not traditional and you're calling on a certain god and goddess, are you really asking them to protect you if you're not doing things in a way that they've come to expect you to do so? Just think about that. You're calling, sorry, it's my dishwasher, it's really loud. You're calling on certain energies that have lived longer than you and have come to expect things a certain way, and you're asking them for protection with something that they're not used to getting. They're not going to be like you on Christmas and go, oh, thanks. They're going to go, I don't want that certain incense. That's no thanks. Protect yourself. Because like it or not, these deities are just like you and me. They come to expect certain things. It's called routine and ritual. And teaching, you'll find that. I think it's really important that if you're casting a circle, you're doing it for the right reason. Are you casting a circle because a book told you to? Do you feel you need that circle? So then why are you doing it? If you feel safe and protected, if you can zone out of the daily hustle and bustle, why do you need to protect yourself? And why do you need to put yourself in that mindset? If you can easily put yourself in a mindset of visualization and block out all things that surround you, go for it. Circles are not necessary. There are times where I haven't cast circle, and that's fine. I don't feel it's necessary. I think it's case by case basis. If I'm doing a dedication to my gods, I don't cast a circle. I light the candle, I light the incense, and I say, this is for you on your day, because I have certain days of the week. Some weeks I miss, and I go, sorry God, I'm sorry Goddess, and that's fine, right? But I light the candle, I light the incense, or I give the wine, and I light the candle. I say this is for you on your special day, blessed be, and walk away from the altar and let the candle burn down. I don't need to cast a circle for me to talk to my gods and tell them that I'm honoring them in a certain way. However, if you're trying to get into a certain mindset of ritual, a circle isn't a bad idea. Getting into the mindset of, all right, I'm Gardnerian, so I need a sword. You don't need a sword. You need a circle, because the circle is traditional Gardnerian. But the sword's not necessary. Your athame is perfectly fine. I do want to say that even though I've mentioned that certain gods come to expect certain things, this shouldn't discourage you, because if you're seeking, that's fine, because you can just not name gods, and certain energies will come to you. Sorry, I try to wrap my mind around that. Certain deity energies will be attracted to you, or they're watching you, or they're calling you. You don't know their names yet, but you're calling them, and they're there to protect you. That's fine. Ancestors, elements, corners, hours in the day. If you say, the energies of 3 a.m., please protect me. I cast a hedge of protection around me to shield all negative energy out. You can do that, because trust me, there is energy for everything. And in Anglo-Saxon lore, 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 we believe in the Fae. elves, fairies, gnomes, goblins, hobgoblins, stuff like that. We believe that those energies are there, they're always with us, and they pretty much guide us. And there are rules with talking to the Fae. I'm not an idiot. I know a lot of people think I don't know the Fae. Yeah, I've never said thank you to one of them, ever. Trust me, you don't want to do that. But if I'm like, so there's always an entity that you could reach out and call on to protect you, because the most important thing is that you're getting in a mindset to do a certain task. If you're starting out in witchcraft, whether it be Wicca or eclectic witchcraft, whatever you want to call it, do whatever you like, I think it's a good idea to cast a circle, because you're messing with things that you don't entirely understand yet. And it's okay to play with those things. It's okay to play. I know people say don't play with things you don't understand. How are we to understand them if we don't engage them? You know, how are we to understand how those energies work and manifest if we don't engage them? You need to play with them if you're going to use them. It's like saying, if you don't know how to build me a Lego castle, read the manual first. Well, why can't I just stack the Lego up and do my best? Why don't I have an open mind and see if I can do the Lego castle? No, that's elitism. I'm not doing that. If you want to call on an entity, grandma loved you in her living years, and she was a protector, she was your matron of the family, and she was your protector, call on grandma to cast a circle of protection around you. Call on your ancestors to be hand in hand around you in a circle. There is absolutely nothing wrong with that. And I'm telling you right now, a circle is not always necessary. And I'm one of those people that say, well, I'm Wiccan and I say it this way, and if you don't, it's illegitimate. Look, I'm coming around, guys, okay? I'm coming around. I understand. However, to you, you may not need a circle. Me, I don't always need a circle, but it damn well helps. What's important is that you're putting yourself in a mindset that's ready for ritual. There is to be no giggling, no laughing while you're doing it. You're getting into a mindset of, I am truly focused on my task. I am truly focused. There are times where I've cast a circle, right, and I'm focused, but I'm still worried that the girl downstairs, in the apartment downstairs, is going to hear me drumming away, saying my goddess's name. And she's going to be like, I shoulda, coulda, woulda. Shoulda focused better. Obviously, I wasn't in the right frame of mind to cast that spell, do that right, you know, because I'm thinking about something else. This is why a circle puts you into a mindset. When I find that when I cast a circle, I'm better prepared. I'm better practiced. And I'm sorry, can you make sure you have absolutely everything you need for your rite and ritual? Because breaking that circle can really suck. Because I've done it so many times. I'm like, all right, I'm going to need... Where's my parchment paper? And then I have to, cut a hole in the circle, and go get my paper, and then like close the door. And oh gosh, now I've got to recenter myself. Make sure you have everything you need. Sorry, I know I prattle on. I prattle on a lot, don't I? I prattle on. I sure do prattle on. I promise I don't mean to. Anyway. Love, peace, and applesauce. Blessed be everyone. Merry meet, merry part, merry meet again. I hope you had an all fantastic Samhain. And I hope those in the Southern Hemisphere, and I hope those of you in the Northern Hemisphere, what is your Sabbath this time of year? Is it in bulk? No, it's not in bulk. It might be Beltane. It's Beltane. Beltane. Happy Beltane. Bye everyone. Love you. Bye. Go Bombers!